Hello everybody, Sil here, and bringing you another StarCraft 2 cast between myself as the Blue Terran, spawning in the bottom right, and Suga's FMK, spawning as the Red Terran in the upper left. So, how's everybody doing today? Once again, you'll notice that by the counter, this is an older replay pre-patch, where the hider was introduced. Honestly, most of my own personal replays are older due to the fact I don't get to play StarCraft enough, and I hope to remedy this situation. He is getting a really early supply depot. Holy shiznit. Maybe? Or did I just start slow? Well, remember kids, don't learn from me what to do. Especially when it comes to this game. It's usually safe to assume that whatever I'm doing is wrong. Please play a different way. You'll last longer. But yes, I think I remember this match as being quite good. I'm not that sure. It's been a long time. I do not play nearly enough of the StarCrafts. What are you doing down here? Trying to cheese? You cheesy bastard. I don't know. Some people are like that. But yes, it has been quite the fun times playing StarCraft. I wonder how many of you actually play it out there on my subs. Not that that matters. I may consider casting some more pro quality games. I have no idea why I'm chasing this thing down. You know what? I'm really not a good StarCraft 2 player, so please, just take from these matches you're watching me play what not to do. Honestly, that's the best I can. The best advice I can give you. Don't do what I do. Try and win on your own path. I'll try and get some more gameplay up from me, more recent, in the new patch, and I'll also try and get some professional gameplay up. I know a good replay site, and if anyone has any replays they'd like to submit to me, message me and I'll be happy to accept them and give them a look at, right? What am I doing over here? Oh, supply depot, I see. Just in case. And I is making bunker. I don't know how many players do this besides me, but as Terran, it is my strongest belief that Terrans must turtle to some extent. I understand that that's probably not the best thing to do as Terran, and I understand you need to be aggressive in StarCraft 2. You need to play hard. You need to deal harassment. You need to take bases. You need to, you know, be active. But being the sort of player I am, I have a hard time with that playstyle. I much prefer playing a nice turtle macro game, very macro intensive, until I manage to build enough army that we can go all in and just see who wins. Micromanagement is not my strongest point, though I am trying to get better at it. See me getting my factory now, and he's going for his third barracks. I suppose that'd be pretty standard in TVT if you're going MM&M, the triple threes. I really don't like going triple three for Terran versus Terran. The only time I'll go in all in Marine or Marauder on another Terran is if I'm going to go for 7 dual racks where I just pump the crap out of Marines and hotkey them to my opponent's base around the same time he would be getting his first Marine / barracks like a dick. Now I got my little Marauder and my little football player, and as you can see, I'm switching out my factory with my barracks to give it the tech lab. Not all players would do this just because they would lose time in production of Marines, Marauders, and normal quicker units to get out. I, on the other hand, am a really big fan of siege tanks when it comes to Terran versus Terran. I think that it is the backbone of the game. If you're going to play Terran versus Terran, there's one thing you need, and it's going to be tanks. As you can see, I am immediately going for siege mode before I even manage to produce a unit from this building. It's just something that I highly think everyone should do in Terran vs. Terran. You know, I understand that the Marine Ball works, the Bio Ball for Terran, but when it comes to Terran vs. Terran, I highly recommend playing a nice macro-intensive mech match, because that's when you notice who's best at playing the race so much more than playing Marine. Because honestly, anyone who's new to StarCraft can pick up the race Terran, pump Marines, pump Marauders, pump Medevacs, and win a match. That's not hard. I mean, I did it. Hell, that's the first thing I did when I got the game. I mean, it's really not difficult. What's difficult is, however, managing to not do that and still pull out a win, especially if your opponent's doing some, you know, triple racks, Marine mass craziness with Tech Lab on his starboard. I wonder, did he go Banshees? I don't think so. What is he making it here? I'm curious. Oh well. I just believe that going mech in a Terran versus Terran is the way to go. I understand that, you know, I can't force builds onto people, but if you're looking for a good Terran versus Terran that'll last a while, that, you know, you can leave and go, you know what, that was fun. And it's not because, you know, I managed to win uber fast by being a cheesy little douchebag. That was fun because I devastated this person to the best of my ability. And he did go a Banshee. And Tech Lab on his factory, which is good. Tech Lab on the factory is good. Let's look at... That's not the right button. That's not the right button. That's not the right button. God damn it, what's the right button? Oh, units. As you can see, for once, I am ahead in SCV count. Oh my god, what the hell? And why is the game slowing down to 1 frame per second? I have no idea. Give me a second. Let me try and do something to fix this. Did that work? Well, I'm no longer down to 1 frame per second. If anyone knows a way for me to increase that, it would help, because I don't know what the hell's going on with it when it does that. Especially because, I mean, I am running nothing but StarCraft and Fraps, and there's no reason why the recording should be causing that much trouble. Let's look at the income. He is higher than me, though I have more harvesters, which means he probably is mule it on the field. Whereas I tend to use all of my energy towards scans. Terrans, I understand the need to create mules, but please, if you're not scouting, well, if you're not like me, or if you're like me and you have a hard time scouting with units, you know, there's nothing wrong with building SCVs and using mules for scans, because, you know, with the scans not only show you the enemy, but it can show you cloaked enemies. It's really useful. And now that I see his Banshees, I actually remember fighting these. Sort of. I don't quite remember how I do it, but you'll see I'm slowly building my little spider tanks with their little horde symbols.
For the horde.
Yeah, Yes, I am that nerdy that I have to bring World of Warcraft into my StarCraft. Let's see. Right now, let me just check something. As you can see right here, I'm actually aware of these enemies in my base due to the sensor tower. And he should be able to see my sensor tower, but for some reason he felt the need to put his banshees in it. Maybe he thought they weren't just because of where the base is, but that's something that's wrong. It's actually where the little circle beneath the banshee hits. Is that where it's technically over? Just a little FYI. Oh no, what happened? Something was under attack. I don't know, but shit be dead, yo. Hopefully it was his SCV that he felt like leaving there for the match. As you can see, he's now got 3 banshees here. He has no cloak. Is he producing cloak? Cloaking field. I'm gonna assume that's banshee cloak. And he's getting turn infantry weapons 1. Do I have any upgrades? No. But you see, I noticed that the banshees were there, so I started building my missile turrets now. I believe I have this one here who's making the turrets, making them all. I wanted to get the ones around the line first, just in case. You'll see I'm a very defensive player when it comes to stationary turrets. Anti-air turrets are a great distraction for the enemy. If they slow down even for half a second to an attack, and any aircraft turret that is doing nothing to a land-based army, it gives you just that much more time to react. As you can see, I'm now getting Vikings and medevacs. I've expanded. Yay me. I did that without even noticing. Oh. And here we go. They're seen. He does not withdraw them, which is what he should have done. The second he noticed the turrets. And I lost 1 turret. Units lost. Wow. This is where you notice a big difference in the unit lost already. And the first little bit of combat in the game, and I'm already 950 resources ahead of my opponent. I've only lost 1 building. His attack didn't even manage to kill any SCVs. And yeah, it was devastating for him. And I'm 2 base to his 1. He is not yet expanded, though he is building a command center within his base. I was able to just forego that. But you see, he has a really, really devastating looking ball. As you can see, though, we're about the same in population. Let's see if he's going to make anything out of this. Hopefully the fighting will not drag their frames down. I'm sorry if they do, everyone. I want to say it's not my fault, but I honestly don't know how I could make it better. I mean, I don't have anything running on the computer besides StarCraft and Fraps. I've set them graphics to medium. I did include sound just because I'm sure you don't want to just listen to my voice. If anyone knows of any other way to speed in a computer that's pretty much old damn new, please let me know, because I'm here to entertain. Let's see the bio ball. They should be in range, but I think they're under the fog of war at the moment. If I was only smart enough to move this medevac even a few steps closer, I would be attacking them right now and probably would make that ball retreat, which would rock for me. But as you can see, I managed to spider them out, prevented any sort of, just rolling through them. They need to deviate slightly. And there's an attack, and you can just see the spread of damage. 10, 10, 10. You can just see how quickly this marine ball, and they stemmed without any medevacs. Just look how quickly they melt away to the tanks. And yes, I did lose 2 tanks. It appears 2 tanks, a good number of marines, good number of marauders, but units lost. Once again, I've lost 2,000 less than my opponent, and he's lost a good 5 times more units than I have. So that attack was not cost effective. Looking at the unit tab, I'm still ahead of SCVs. I do not have any mules, whereas he does. 1 marauder does 2, 1 medevac, 1 medevac. Thor is here. I have my crazy ass, badass collector's edition Thor here from StarCraft. I have my 2 Vikings, my 4 siege tanks, and 26 marines. And as you can see, I'm moving out now. He attacked, it failed. This is when I need to move out. This is when I need to make sure my opponent is trapped. He has this expansion up. He is not mining. He has not made it into an orbital command like I did. Though I do have energy, which is bad. I should be using this for mules and scans. Though I do believe I was saving those scans for something very specific. He has nothing mining income-wise. I'm still behind somehow, even though I'm mining off of 2 base. Oh, that's why. If you're like me and you suck, you will have a habit to transfer far too many SCVs and stop constructing them. I'd recommend you not do this. Now, using my scan to skip the high ground, I'm using my tanks, and he stemmed, bunched up in a corner, and splat. Units lost. He just lost another 1,000 minerals worth of units. Move the Thor closer. Scan. Thor just devastates the tank, devastates the marauders. Thor devastates life. Just see him going, yeah, I'm baller. Oh, run away, survive. Yep. 36 hit points. You'll find I'm not that big on getting the upgrades in a match in Terran versus Terran. And we're back. Sorry about that. My computer actually ran out of space while recording. I have no idea how that happened. For some reason, Fraps likes to cut this video into like 8 different chunks. But yes, we're gonna witness what happens when 2 people who are bad at micro fight, and one of them's using tanks. And here it is. One person just micro and assumes I'm really close, but I'm not. Loses the majority of their army, followed by a Thor, who somehow does splash damage. I didn't know Thor's melees did splash damage, but he totally balls that up. He has 5 kills, 13, 11, 20 kills on this one tank. This tank is God. I'm actually sitting inside of it. And you can see me using my scans, getting a view of the high ground without risking my medevac, because I may need it, taking out that. You see him producing 5 Marines at a time. Marine. See me move closer. He doesn't focus down the medevac. If you're ever in the situation in Bronze, Silver, Gold League where this is happening, do not just sit there and let it happen. Aim for the medevac first. He'll lose sight of the high ground, then you can just bombard him. Now, I sacrificed that Thor on stupidity's sake. And I'm going to pull back now. Get it to their reach. I don't want to lose my men. All of them, I hope. Run my little tail away. But as you can see, I've been building constantly. I have units. I have army. I have no upgrades, I don't think. Yep, just producing tanks now. I know my opponent does not know how to handle the tanks. I know he doesn't. And this is going to go to my ultimate advantage, especially since I have a nuke on the way. We missed me making a Ghost Academy. Where is this? Oh, look, it's down here, out of the way. And there's a stuck SCV just taking up a supply depot. Bastard. Do I already have a Ghost? I do not, but I will have a nuke soon. And as you can see now, I'm doing the ultimate sort of little... Well, first of all, he has now upgraded this to a planetary fortress 20 minutes into the match and has now moved SCVs over. His income should skyrocket right around now. But as you can see, he's mined out at the main, and mine's barely even touched, since I transferred far too many units over to the secondary. And I'm still ahead in harvesters, which is pretty much well unheard of in terms of me doing shit. Once again, using my scans, using that to harass, take out his supply depots, make sure he pushes his units further back, which lets me move forward just a little bit. That's his scan on me, so he knows I'm there. But he also should realize that I have enough to scan him. See, but look. Right now, if I were to scan right here, these all would automatically die. Oh, he's running them down. Stem them up. Let's see how quickly they melt away. He hesitated, and they all died without dealing any more damage. Units, he now has 1 tank. I could just rickroll him right now with just this. Unfortunately, I wasn't aware that my opponent only had this tank. I figured since he probably expanded like I did and maybe even had taken a 3rd base without me knowing that his economy would be a lot better than what it is. I assumed that he would have more army, and I was wrong. I would win the game right now if I was a more aggressive player. And it's my fault entirely that I am not. Blame me for that. Strike me down with lightning. It's my bad. So you can see I'm trying to hopscotch a little here with my tanks, and he takes the bait and just follows them out. I do lose a tank, but once again, when you look at the units lost tab, in comparison, I've lost 24 units to his 119. I'm not playing a Zerg here. These aren't little Zerglings dying. These are expensive units that are worth a lot of money and time. I still don't have a ghost with me, and I've yet to begin to produce one. This is bad on my hindsight. Usually, if you do build yourself a nuke, you usually get a ghost to use it. I'm a little slow sometimes when it comes to my playstyle. And you can see I'm actually building up a Thor, some Marines, getting a backup army just in case something happens. And we have a big clash. He manages to wipe this out and barely survive, but he tries to push thinking that this was all I had. I will have some sort of last minute defense. Even when I'm being aggressive and locking my opponents down, I am not aggressive enough to not have a shield. I'm destroying this barracks that is producing Marines. I'll be taking out one of his... No, maybe. It is on fire. And it does not look like he's going to repair it with this SCV. He should do that. But as you can see, it's actually repairing the medevac instead of the barracks. There we go. So we have to say, in hindsight, that's probably not the best idea. You now see him going for upgrades too. So right now he's 1-1 his infantry and 0-0 his tank. But at the same time, I have just so many siege tanks. I've managed to move my marine ball over here, up around this expansion. And I just have tanks along this wall. See, as he tries to move out, he gets hit by the tanks. And from the high ground, I have my marines. His medevac's not going to do anything on its own. And that marine is a very, very lucky marine to manage to survive that. You can see in my Thor, I decided, you know what, I really don't need this big of a defense. Let's move it with what I have, and we'll make something work if it does. You can see I still have 2 Vikings. I did make Vikings when he went Banshees, and I kept them. I could have killed them and re-freed up the supply, but I knew for a fact that he had a starport. So there's always the chance he could go some crazy ass build and start like making battle cruisers or something, and I would need some sort of initial response, and that would be the Vikings. As you can see, now they're all clumped up. If I was playing Protoss or Banelings, I'd be screwed right now because of how clumped I have my tanks. But thankfully, I'm playing a Terran player who obviously does not know how to use tanks. You need to think about things. Yes, you would never clump tanks like this in a normal match. But this isn't a normal match. It's already been dictated that my opponent does not know how to use or fight siege tanks, which means I can use them any freaking way I want, and they'll probably be used to beyond capacity. You see me get the scan off, and I start going for the tech lab immediately. Slow down any sort of marauder production. He loses a tank, he's losing marines, he's losing marauders. He's building another factory. You see him, he still has some minerals here that he's just not mining. He may be oversaturated at this base, for all I know. He has idle workers. He starts moving out, but you see, I haven't contained perfectly. I may have lost 2 marines in that. The difference in our losses is staggering. He has lost 10,000 more resources worth of units than I have. And well almost 100 times more units than I have, which is just ridiculous. Well, no, not 100. Sorry. 20. No, wait. I'm not going to do math. Screw you all. Production. Do I finally make this ghost? I do have Ghost Cloak on the way, which means I do have a Ghost on the field. Ghosty, where is you? Ghosty? I have no idea where this Ghost is, however. There he is. Isn't he sexy? He's like a Splinter Cell. So yeah, this is one of those moments where you realize you're not playing a top-end opponent, and you're not playing someone who can cheese, you're not playing someone who can outsmart you or outplay you. And it's not like I'm toying with him, I'm just not 100% positive that I'll be able to defeat him. Now, he does manage to take out one of my siege tanks, but he overextends himself again, takes out another, and this is stupid, move the tank, and I suck, by the way. This one Marauder managed to get almost 3 siege tank kills just to my poor micro. Now, I'm not the best either. I'm not saying this person is absolutely the worst player ever. I'm just saying we're mutually terrible. Production, how comes my cloaking? And I'm waiting for that to get this off. It would be devastating if I were to say put it here. If I could somehow walk my way all the way around his base and drop it down here, he probably wouldn't expect it. And nor would he have the energy to scan, because he's been constantly pumping mules to refill his army. That's just been getting killed and killed and killed. He's been spending his energy on nothing but mules, and since he doesn't have a second orbital command like I do, he doesn't have just the amount of scans and whatchamajigits. There we go, got my cloak. Do I waste the nuke over here? Probably. Do I may? So, again, he moved out here to try and take it out. I did have view of the high ground. I killed him. I used the scan to make sure I see what's over here that the Ghost can't see. Look, he thought I was nuking the SCVs, and he runs them right into the nuke. And they get caught. So you just see his army get devastated. So many soldiers. So many losses. And now I have a Ghost in his base just going snipe happy. This building is probably going to be destroyed by fire, which would rock. Boom, and it blew itself up. Now you see me lifting up 2 tanks and 2 Thors. I figured, you know what, maybe it's time I'm having the ability to build this army. Let's supply block. Looking under the army tab, it will take me destroying a lot of supply depots now that I consider it. He's up at 44 to 46 to my 155 out of 177. And units lost. Yeah, it's devastating. This is what happens when someone who has a rough idea of how to play a race is playing someone who doesn't know. And as far as I can tell, he picked Terran. It wasn't random. And now he's finally moving out, but he moves in with a small handful of Marines. What are Marines going to do against these battle cruisers and siege tanks and siege? So you see me take in another one of his buildings, see me scan there to see what he has. Production-wise, he's making a Thor. He is making a Thor. His Thor is here. His Thor does not look cool like my Thor, however. This my dude rocks. He does, however, have it. Now you see, this is another big moment. He is falling back. He's given up on these buildings. It's obvious. Now, like, as you can see him, he's moving his units further back, trying to hold the planetary fortress while he's flying his orbital command down here in an attempt to rebuild. But honestly, look at this. I have a massive army just sitting here. He's not moving out with anything he has to try and stop me from taking his production building. I'm scanning, and I scan at the right moment to see his army coming, and I managed to just snipe a Marauder, go for his barracks, stop that from making Marines, pull back, let his units stem, let my AoE damage hit. Even if I lose this small little army, I know for a fact I've pretty much well won the match. I mean, there's really no question in my mind that I've crushed this player. Looking at the army size now, he has 43 supply to 46, 45. He's almost supply blocked to my 158 out of 177. You see all my medevacs, my Marines, 3 pages worth. I've even moved the Vikings out with it, just in case. You see me now expanding for a 3rd time. In all fairness, at the rate I was spending money in this game, I probably should have expanded earlier and produced more production buildings. You can see I'm still off 3 racks, 2 with reactors, 1 with tech lab, 1 starport, and 1 factory. I've produced this entire game off of 1 factory. Normally you will never find a Terran player who will do this. And the reason why I did that is because honestly I didn't need to. I was never in a position where the opponent was being overly aggressive, where I needed to just be able to pump out 3 tanks at once. And it got to this point here where I had a big enough army, I just roll in and steamroll his entire existence. I have so many Marines that they can't even get down the ramp to attack. And he's desperately trying to make units, but that doesn't last. He hasn't quit yet. I assume he hasn't quit strictly just because he had the planetary fortress. He had no SCVs down at the orbital command. I didn't even notice the planetary fortress was killing my men till about now. But by the time he starts trying to repair, I had already put far too many units in siege tanks. And yeah, that's pretty much the game. Once again, these aren't good players. No GG, he just leaves. That's so unprofessional. Well, so out everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment, thumbs up.